Three.
Hi, today I'd like to share our project on Bitcoin market analysis and the price prediction. We've worked on analyzing real data from different sources and built a model to predict Bitcoin's short-term price trend. Here's what we'll go through today. We'll start with a quick project overview, including what we wanted to learn and where we got our data. Then we'll move into some key analysis findings, including market trends, risks, and sentiment signals. After that, we'll explain how we built our price prediction model and how will it performed. We'll also show our model's prediction for the next 7 days. Finally, we'll show what within the model's limitations and finish with the conclusion and the key takeaways. The main goal of our project was to understand how Bitcoin behaves, especially in the short term, and see if we could predict the price using both technical and sentiment data. We collected our data using APIs from multiple sources, including historical price data from Yahoo Finance, real-time market metrics from CoinJogle, and sentiment indicators from Reddit, Crypto Compare, and Coin Paprika. We also used the Fear and Greed Index to capture market mood. All this gave us a pretty solid foundation to work with. Before jumping into analysis, we did some basic validation of our dataset. We collected 5 years of Bitcoin data over 1,800 days and confirmed that there were no missing values. Bitcoin's price moved a lot from below $7,000 to over $109,000. We also compared price from Yahoo and CoinJogle and find only a 0.18% difference, which gave us confidence in the quality of our data. When we look at the overall market trends, we find that Bitcoin trends to go through strong upward movements followed by big corrections. We also analyzed volatility and risk and saw that during peak periods, the 30 days volatility was quite high. There were also big drop downs with drops of more than 20% happening over just a few days. We used moving averages and Bollinger Bands to track these patterns visually, and this helped us later in model building. Now let's take a quick look at market sentiment. We analyzed the news and social media, including Reddit and the CoinDesk. The overall sentiment score was slightly positive at 0.09, with a confidence score of 0.70. As shown in the pie chart, about 46% of posts were neutral, with positive and negative sentiment nearly balanced. The Fear and Greed Index was 43, showing the market is cautious but not extremely fearful. We also look at top keys include Bitcoin, halving, and SEC reflecting interest in price and regulations. Interestingly, despite only mild optimism, Bitcoin rose 3.3% in the last 24 hours, showing that while sentiment doesn't predict price directly, it helps us understand overall market mood. Okay, that's the end of my part. Now, learning will walk you through our model design, predictions, and the key results.
Thank you for Tracy. Let's talk about the feature we use to train our price prediction models. For our model training, we engineering 5 types of features. We included sentiment data from news and Reddit, plus the fear and grace index. Price feature like returns and volatility captures market movements. We also added volume trends, technical indicators like R-side and MACD, and time-based singles like what day of the week it is. Together, this feature helps our model better understand both the market behavior and mood. We tested 2 main models, linear regression and LSTM, which is a deep learning models that work well for time series data. Then we combine them into ensemble models, which is the 80 LR, 80% LR and 20% LSTM. Here are the results. Linear regression has the highest R squared 0.8916. LSTM also performs well and was most sensitive to volatility. The ensemble models balanced both with an R squared of 0.8906 and slightly better error controls overload. This chart shows the orange lines. The ensemble prediction closely follow the actual price. As for futures, Bollinger Bands and price the momentum has the most impact according to the linear regression width. Training wins smoothly. The system confirms that both models completely successfully and prediction were generated without issues. With the model evaluated, we then tested its ability to predict the real prices. Using the ensemble models, we forecasted Bitcoin prices from April 12th to April 18th. The model showed a small drop in the few days and a rise on day 6, and then a slight delay again. Credit highs about 85,000 and credit low is about 80,500. Credit average is about 82,000 and the currency price is about 83,000. In the chart, the red dashes track the forecast and it closely follow the trends with a mean bias of minus 0.83% and duration accuracy of 77.4%. The model performs reliable even in the volatile markets. Here is a quick reflection on what I learned and the limitations I noticed. First, combining models like linear regression and LSTM really improves prediction stability. Feature engineering, especially technical indicators like R-side and Bollinger Band, made a big difference. Sentiment added context, though it wasn't as strong on its own for predictions. As for limitations, LSTM took more time to train and was sensitive to overfitting. Also, sentiment scores was biased by keywords and sources. And finally, short-term prediction work better than trying to forecast further out. In conclusion, even though the Bitcoin is volatile, we found that it still shows patterns. By combining sentiment, technical indicator, and different models, we improved prediction accuracy. Our ensembled models proved reliable for short-term forecasting. Thank you for your time and listening. Thank you again.